And welcome on in, everybody. WagerWeekly.com. Paul Nolan and Damon Roberts with you. Week 1 in the NFL. We're looking at your Sunday card, and in your rotation, we're up to 455 and 456. Texans on the road to Baltimore. Ravens 9.5-point favorites at home. Paul Nolan, pretty big number for a week 1, but you look at this Texans team, man, they talk about rebuilds in the NFL. Here we go. DeMeco Ryans, what can he get done in Houston as they go on the road here in week 1?
Well, look, that Houston team was showing a lot of moxie last year, and DeMeco Ryans is the epitome of moxie. Obviously, they've taken from the Shanahan tree. I think offensively, this team will be better. Again, we're looking at a team that, that's, rookie quarterback on the road to start the season, not a great proposition, but a double-digit dog in some places. You're finding a 10, and especially with the public, absolutely, really making a good move on Baltimore at the more public sports books. Like you look at FanDuel, the splits there, it's getting tons of play, and that's probably the most public sports book there is. So I'm pretty much passing on this one. I would lean towards taking the dog. To me, plus 10, I would lean that way. I'm looking for a backdoor here, but for the most part, I probably won't be betting this one. I just don't like Lamar Jackson in this situation with a brand new offense for the first time in his career that's not suited for his athletic ability. It's much more pocket passer, which we know he's going to drop it down and run when he gets to his second reads anyhow. But I think he'll be a little confused. He hasn't played a lot of football in a long time. So I do like Houston here, but it's not looking to maybe a 1% bet, free pick, but not a love it game. I like the next game better.
All right, let's get to that next game, and that, of course, is Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, very happy going into this game. $55 million a year for 5 years, the biggest contract.
Is that a lot? Is that a lot of money? 55?
I mean, it's not Paul Nolan money, but it's
right.
it's getting very close. Cincinnati on the road to Cleveland. Paul Nolan, Joe Burrow. Obviously, you look at what he's done. Should be healthy from the calf injury, but the contract, he's got to have a weight off his mind to put that behind him. Clearly well-deserved. He's taken this really bottom-feeding team for so many years in the league, has made them the ultimate contender every single year to go to the big game. So you look at what he's done. But now getting specific to this game, Cincinnati is notoriously slow starters. Speaking of how healthy Joe Burrow is, some say may not make a difference. You look at Zach Taylor, 1-7 straight up his last 8, 3-4-1 against the spread past 4 years in week 1 and week 2. So a little slow out of the box for this Cincinnati team. On the road at Cleveland. Cleveland, a 2-point underdog, so a small number for Cincinnati on the road. What do you see in this game?
For me, when I did the line on this game, I did have Cincinnati laying 2.5 or 3 in it, but I thought I was going to get value with Cleveland here. I honestly think just Deshaun Watson in camp looked like the guy who, how high I was on him when he was in Houston. There was a stretch there where he was a top 4 quarterback in this league. He was unstoppable at points, and I just think that he's got a lot to prove, and he seems humbled and matured after his absolutely ridiculous behavior in the past. But, this Cleveland team's got a revamped D-line. They got a good offensive line. They do have their share of weapons. I think this is a team that has the ability to kind of shock them, and especially because we know that Cleveland has legitimately owned this Cincinnati team. Burrow has had very little success against them, and I just think that's going to continue. I just think this is like the White Whale Super Bowl type game for this Cleveland team where, we know that Cincinnati has been kind of a mishmash in training camp here. So I like Cleveland's focus. I like that defensive line. I like the matchups against the offensive line. And I do think that revamped defense to go along with that offensive line, they'll win this game in the trenches. I think this will be a real tight game. I will take the dog in this one. It will be part of my circa millions. I will be taking Cleveland in this. I just would love to have gotten 3 or 3.5 just because I would have felt real comfortable there.
Yeah, and as you say, Burrow 0-4 versus the Browns in Cleveland. So well pointed out there as well. All right, guys, there you go. There's 2 more games on your Sunday. Make sure you visit us each and every week right here at WagerWeekly.com, where we break down all your games individually so you can get as much content as possible. Paul Nolan and myself right here at WagerWeekly.com. Enjoy the Week 1 games, and we'll see you next time.